Hi, hello. In this video, we are going to learn about certain control phase tools, particularly the control plan, a tool called poka, and then documentation related tools, right? So typically a control plan is a set of document that will include the uh, documents such as process related documentation, the process flow chart, the process before improvement, the process after improvement, right? The complete process flow chart and data collection plan, how much data must be collected and when the data should be collected and who should actually collect the data and how it must be collected and what kind of measurement system should be used and all those things will be included in the data collection plan, and then mistake proofing system if any incorporated, and the information about the mistake proofing system and response reaction plan. Whenever some of your response or the output variable or goes out of order, then how you should react. It is something like the uh, mistake proofing, and it is now called as a response reaction plan. Whenever you see an out of control condition in the control chart, then how the stakeholder must react. And similarly, audit plan, inspection plan, and how frequently the audit must be conducted and how the audit must be conducted and how the inspection should be conducted, and all those things are become part of the control plan. Similarly, the risk mitigation system and the statistical process control guidelines. So the set of all the documents which will ensure that your results are always on par with the plan and it never goes out of order, right? Whether it is the output or the input or the process, any deviation, the control plan will immediately, help you to bring it back to the normal. So this is a typical format of a control plan, and you can see the process and then the process name, and then the characteristics that needs to be monitored, and similarly if something goes wrong, and what is the reaction plan. And there is no fixed specific format. According to the requirement, you can prepare one for your process and one for your organization. And there comes another tool called poka. So poka is a kind of a lean tool, and again poka is a Japanese term which means mistake proofing, right? And see here, I'm showing you there are two different model of stoves. Stove A is like this and stove B is like this. If I want to switch on the burner, which knob I should use? Whether the second knob will control the stove or the third one will control the stove. And this is not very clear in this design. However, when I slightly change the design of the knobs, when I keep the orientation of the knobs and the orientation of the burners in the same order, then one can easily locate. That means intuitively, people can correctly switch on the knob. And these kind of designs, these kind of mechanisms, these kind of controls are called poka. Similarly, here, what is the poka? The first mission, when the drilling happens, even when the driller goes beyond the depth of the specification, there is no clue here, right? And there is a chance that the driller can actually go beyond the spec and then do a over drilling or under drilling. Similarly, in the second case, when I introduce a stopper, then there is no chance for the driller to go beyond the spec, right? Obviously, it will the stopper will not allow the drill bit to go beyond the required spec, and that way the stopper can be fixed. That means this is a control poka. Similarly, you can always think of going one step ahead. Here, in addition to the stopper, a buzzer is also added. So whenever the stopper hits and then also the drill bit continues to ring, then immediately the buzzer will also give a kind of sound or a light, and so problem will immediately come to the surface, and then some control measures can be taken. And these are other design pokeyokes. People will never be able to insert the into the socket wrongly, and that's why the socket and the design is made in this manner. And similarly here, we often search for the particular wire, whether the wire is coming from keyboard or the mouse or the power socket. So this kind of naming is also a kind of control mechanism. You can consider that as a poke, okay. So basically, there are three types of poke available: shutdown poke, okay, control poke, okay, and warning poke, okay. So shutdown poke, okay, means the entire machine comes to a halt, right? There will be a complete shutdown. For example, our laptop sometimes undergoes a complete shutdown to prevent a failure. When there is a low power, but still you are trying to operate the laptop will automatically shut down so that the OS and all the contents, important files are safer. Same way, if there is something seriously wrong is going to happen, a system will automatically detect and then completely shut down your entire machine or the setup. For example, if you go to an ATM and then put the PIN number wrongly more than 3 times, what will happen? Your card will be blocked. So why this mechanism is introduced or built to prevent a failure? Otherwise, what will happen? Anybody can steal your money using multiple possibilities of the PIN, and then they can actually take your money. So in order to avoid that, the feature is incorporated generally in credit and debit card. That's an example of shutdown poke, okay. Similarly, control poke, okay. In control poke, okay, item cannot move to the next stop. For example, if I don't put the seat belt in my car, probably I will not be able to start the engine. That means the system itself is not allowing you to move on to the next stage. That means simply this makes the error impossible, right? This is called control poke, okay. The third category is called warning poke, okay. If something wrong is going to happen, then there will become some kind of warning like a light or a buzzer, but still you will be able to move on to the next stage. For example, I don't put the seat belt, then car will keep on giving me a buzzer sound, but then also I can start the engine and still move the car. So it all depends on the level of control you have in preventing the failure. So there are three types of poke: shutdown poke, control poke, and warning poke, right? So here the kids are crossing the level crossing. There is only a light is indicating. That means it is a warning poke, okay. However, here in addition to the light and probably the buzzer, a gate is put. So now problem is completely prevented. This is called the control poke. What is the poke, okay, here? See here in this particular kind of wash basin, if you don't, if so for some reasons if you don't close the tap properly, the water could overflow and then it can spoil your floors. And of course there is a drain hole. Even if suppose assuming the drain hole is blocked, then water will spill over on the floor. And in order to avoid these kind of situations, a small change in the design is made. An additional drain hole is provided. Even if you do not close the tap, and even if the drain provision channel is getting blocked, then also water can get disposed properly through this drain hole. This is an additional level of control provided in terms of the design of the wash basin. And again here, see here, look at the design of the screws. There are two screws. Here the screwdriver can easily slip out and then it can cause some minor injuries and accidents are possible. However, if the design is slightly modified like this, the chance of screwdriver getting slipped out of the screw will be reduced. And this is again another kind of okay, right? Any mechanism, any changes in the design which can help you to prevent the failure is called okay. This you can use it in the control phase. And finally, documenting the solution and benefits. Why should we document the solution? We should document the solution for review and application in other processes in the organization. Sometimes a similar solution might be required in some other areas also. That is called replication. It also acts as the lessons learned document for other green belts. As I already mentioned, there is replication and standardization. Replication in the sense you implement the solution as it is in other areas. Sometimes with some modification, you might require to implement the solution in the other areas. In that case, it is called the standardization. Taking the lessons from the team and applying those ideas to process that may be dissimilar to the original process, but still you can customize and then use it. This is called replication and standardization. And project benefits, it is always a good idea to have a cost benefit analysis document where you account all the expenses that are spent for the project, and you have the total cost, and similarly all the benefits that came from a particular project A, and then you go for a cost benefit ratio, right? The benefit earned divided by the cost, it is 1.2 here, whereas in the other project it is 1.27, the other project it is 1.15. That means the cost benefit is really better compared to the three projects which we are seeing here. Like, and always when you are accounting the benefit, and account for the annual benefit, and once you have this kind of cost benefit analysis document, the result of the improvement and the financial benefit need to be monitored for 1 year. And project closure document generally consists of result of the project, the control activities and status of incomplete task, anything if any, and approval of all the stakeholders. And once that is done, you can transfer the process back to the process owner, and then you can announce the project closure. And now, in order to ensure that the improvement is sustained, transferring the responsibility to process owner will require process control plan, review meetings to communicate the state of the process, updated flowcharts, procedures, and statement of work, SPC measures, including SPC control plan and out of control action plan, response plans, to define how irregularities in the process are handled. You have learned a lot of things while solving a problem, while doing a project. Can you pass on all the gained knowledge into the stakeholders, and as well as you give it to the real process owner, so that organization learning can take place, and moreover you are ensuring it through proper documentation. And this is a template for project closure, where the project name, project number, and project manager, project sponsor, and everything can be done, and then handover, who is taking over and who is handing over, and why the project is closed. Is it because the project has produced the result and it is successful, you are closing it, or is there for any other reason you are dropping the project in between? That can be written here, and then project closure can be signed off. And of course, doing a project and then producing results as per the plans and targets is really a commendable achievement, and so that must be celebrated. So the team might consider evaluating how they worked together, all the challenges they faced, they can realize and then document it. And similarly, the management may devise rewards to recognize the work done by the project team, and as well as they can allow them to celebrate the success, because recognition and celebration of a successful Six Sigma project will drive process excellence philosophy within the organization, and then managing the change becomes simpler. So that's it from me on the control phase, and congratulations on completing the course successfully, and see you soon in the next program. Wish you all the very best.